Ayo going to the Minnesota Timberwolves, and he's been traded for Rob Dillingham, Leonard Miller, and 4 second-round picks. Swiper, would you like to discuss this?
Swiper, Ayo is that chick that you've been chasing. You've been wanting to date her, but she just won't give you the time of day. And you've been talking about her for so long now, like, yo, and you've been trying to get with her. You just can't.
Damn, man.
So what's going on? You mad he's
and,
not?
and it's not because you whack, by the way,
Swiper. Hot City?
And it's not that you whack neither, by the way, Swiper. It's not that you whack. It's just that somebody just beats you to the punch every time. Every time she comes available, somebody else just swoops in like, yo, you want to hang out? And you still sit in the background like, yo, I'm going to ask out. We going to ask out, Swiper.
Stop pouting and get on your job.
Yeah. How about that?
Damn.
How about that?
You never sent it. You got the text. You ain't never hit send.
Yeah, go over there and kick it
That's a crazy way to go out right there.
You know?
Yo, man, you go out like that. Don't send. No, don't.
You over here thinking, you like, damn, should I send it? No, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to.
Yo, a lot of teams wanted Ayo Dosunmu. I feel you.
I've been talking about him for years. He loves Dosunmu. He's been talking about him since I first met him. He's been talking about Dosunmu. He loves him.
Swipe, yes. Is this what this is about right now?
Yes, this is exactly what this is about.
Wondering,
he loves him.
Or is it because the Knicks beat up on y'all last night?
No,
which
it's
one
not
is it?
that. No, it's Dosunmu.
No.
It's absolutely.
It's because the Lakers got better.
Oh, you're always doing all this trolling. Like, I just,
I asked you a question. I'm trying to figure out what's going on.
But not every moment is for trolling. This is a grievous situation. And y'all think I'm playing. I'm not. I have been talking about 2 players in particular for several years. Both of them were in garbage situations, and in Chill's, in his mechanisms he uses to talk about sports, bad relationships. And it was Nickeil Alexander-Walker, who went for 2 second-round picks, and it was Ayo Dosunmu, who went for 4 second-round picks, and Rob Dillingham. Kwamdim Ayopo Dosunmu, Nigerian brother, went for nothing.
A bucket of extra crispy in a 6-pack.
Rob Dillingham is not a good basketball player. They were able to get off of a 8th overall pick in 3 seconds and another bargain bin player and get a 6'4", 210, 2-way shooter, dribbler. Like, you can run any defensive scheme that you want. Yeah, I just think, the
Swiper, Swiper, what would this, in your estimation, you're the Denver Nuggets, you're in the front office, what would Dosunmu have cost you?
I don't know. I'm not kidding you. I know these people.
I'm being honest with you. I'm trying to talk.
I know for a fact, and Miroslav said it today. I know for a fact that Tim Connolly follows my Twitter. I know for a fact because he keeps doing this every single time. There's one of these players that's on the margins. He adds them to Minnesota, and I'm so sick of it. Like, I'm tired of it. And shout out to Ayo. He's getting in a great situation now. Everybody's going to be glazing him all over the place, and now you're going to be, oh, he's a championship piece because he's on a contract year this year too. Like, this is the last year of his deal. He's making $7 million a year. He is going to be a very high level player for them. He's going to close next to Anthony Edwards and Jaden McDaniels and Julius Randle and Rudy Gobert, and they're going to be really good. And he's going to hit off all threes, and he's going to be a good facilitator. Yeah, and he's big too. He's not small. That's the other thing. He's also not small. Not being small and be able to do all that other stuff. Yeah, it sucks, man. I'm
Ron, this sound like Ron, this sound like he should be doing that for us. What you doing with him?
And this is not a situation of you not, if you see a lady you like out and about, like, you don't make your attention known. I've been talking to this woman for, she's been getting out of a bad marriage for 3 years. And, like, you know what I mean? I've been telling her, like, hey, you know what I mean? Like, let's go to dinner, let's get coffee and all that other stuff. Like, it's been one of those things where we've met, we talked multiple times.
And trying to take a married woman.
The marriage is over. It's on paper.
It's over.
Yeah. And some of this is too, Ox. You've been here, like, now let's just transport ourselves back.
She just lives in the house, Ox.
Let's go to 19.
Ain't nothing going on.
Let's go to got no game.
Let's go to 1910 Puerto Rico because they were still doing arranged marriages in Puerto Rico. What happened was I was dating her and courting her, and then she was forced to enter another relationship with someone else, even though she wanted to be with me. This is that situation, Ox. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, he is going to be a tremendous player. And I know he's literally the kind of guy Ox would like. He's the kind of guy Ron would like, Mars would like, Penn, I mean, everybody. Nobody would not like this. He's a really good basketball player, and he does a lot of really good things as well. And he's a uber talented, five-tooled baseball player. If you know what that kind of phrase means, and he's gonna be great. Like he's gonna be great.
Honestly,
First of all,
I like Ayo.
They really need him as well,
I think you're overselling it a little bit.
They really need him as well.
No, Penn, he's
but
not.
Wait, but why can't we just
he's shooting 45% from three this
wish him
year,
well,
and he's playing really well. But he's an expiring contract.
Yeah,
and he's gonna command probably full mid-level this offseason.
Which is how much, man?
14
million.
14.
which is a steal for him.
I mean, I don't know who y'all think he is.
They really need him.
A great rotation player, one of the best rotation players in the game. He was in a terrible. He was in a bad. He had no idea what he was doing. He was in a bad.
Don't let Swiper hype this kid up.
I'm not letting Swiper. I know who Dosunmu is. First of all, the Bulls stole him in the draft. He dropped to the second round. So he was first team All American coming out of college. He should have been a first round pick. The Bulls stole him.
Illinois.
Yes, he was first team All American coming out of college. He wasn't a good player. He was awesome.
He was all right at Illinois.
He was awesome coming out. No, he wasn't all right, Ox. He was awesome.
He's gonna help. He's gonna help. Can we leave it there? Like he's gonna help. He's an upgrade on what they have. He's better than Bones Highland. He's better than the corpse of Mike Conley. Okay,
that ain't hard to beat, man.
But that means a lot for this unit, though.
And he can be the fifth best player on a championship team. That's the kind of player he is, which is important.
Mars, you've watched plenty of him, right?
I've watched Ayo Dosunmu.
You fan?
Not a fanatic like I think he's cool.
Yeah. Is he better than I'm gonna give you some names. Is he better than Aaron Nesmith was last year for the Indiana Pacers?
These are two different teams, though. Like
you could just
he's not better than Aaron Nesmith was in the playoffs.
Is he better than Andrew Nemhard? Is he better than Andrew Nemhard last year?
Absolutely not.
Okay, well those are chill to put them in the classification. Those are elite rotation players.
What?
Okay, so he is a step below that and 3 steps above whatever the crap that Rob Dillingham is. Okay, I'm just saying.
If you put Dosunmu on that Indiana team, or you put him on an elite group like that, are you telling me that I can't get that? I can't get similar production? What are you doing, Penn?
As Nimhard?
What are you doing? What am I doing? What are you doing?
No, chill. He's not as good as Nimhard.
He's not as good as Andrew Nemhard.
But wait a second. I don't want to turn into that because Ayo Dosunmu is a really good basketball player, so we don't have to compare him to anybody.
He's very good.
You know what I'm saying? And
he helps the Wolves. I don't think
he's definitely going to help.
That's the point.
Definitely going to help the Wolves.
I think we're all in agreement on that. It's just some of us aren't as high on. Like he's the
I am
same.
high on Dosunmu. I like Dosunmu. I do. I like him as a rotation player. Yes, I do like him as a rotation player. I think he's fantastic.
Yeah, he's cool. I ain't got a problem with Ayo.
Is he better than Deuce McBride?
No, but
so what the hell?
But you're asking one person for their opinion and they're giving their opinion. You're agreeing with that opinion because it's
first and foremost, Deuce McBride is not on the market.
Yes, Ayo Dosunmu can be your 5th best player on a championship team, which is the same thing that Christian Brown is, which is the same thing that like Aaron Nesmith is or whoever. I mean, no. I think the issue is I didn't know DiVincenzo was that with the Knicks.
He's not better than Nas Reed. He's not
I think the issue is, Penn, sometimes when you start streamlining stuff, you start over talking the point. I think he is a good combo guard. I'm not saying he's Nas or any of these things, but the thing is, he's making $7 million a year. He's not going to get 14 on the open market more than likely because he's not that kind of a player. But the thing is, if you're getting a 5th or 6th player around $11-12 million a year for 3 years, and they're 25 years old, and they're a player you can leave on the floor at all times in any situation, defensive or offensive, those players are extremely rare. And I'm saying, like, those are the kind of players that I value on championship rosters because they work around stars. You can put him on or off the ball. And then if you ask them to run specific defensive schemes as an on-ball chaser, as an off-ball player, or even playing in zone, Pin, as you know, you can do that. And I think if you had him next to Scotty, he would be the kind of player that you would like on the Raptors because this would be somebody you don't have to take. Raptors. Yeah, you don't have to take him off the floor. So that's all I'm saying. It's like you just have to be in a situation where how many players can you do that with? Because I think Emmanuel quickly, one of the things you don't like about him, obviously it's a shot selection, but also defensively, he's not great. Ayo is a substitution there or a play next to where you can put him in that spot and say, I don't have to worry about you failing on either end. And I think similarly with the Wolves, they fixed their situation because now they have someone who can replicate Conley to a degree, replicate what they were looking for in Rob Dillingham to a very small degree, but then also replicate what Nickeil Alexander-Walker did to a pretty upteenth degree. And that's very valuable for $7 million a year. And my issue with the NBA is they always undervalue players like this that fit this archetype. And what's happening is that when you get them in situations where they can be around stars and stable situations and they don't have to worry about doing more than what they're physically able to do, then all of a sudden they boom and they become these fan favorite kind of players. And I think Ayo Dosunmu will be that in Minnesota. Because
I think you're overselling the defense a lot. And he's
a better defender than Mike Conley is at this point. He's a better defender than Robbie Dillingham. He's going to close. He's going to close for them. Like, I think that's the important thing.
Defender, man.
Cool. I mean,
he'll close versus every team they play in the playoffs. Like every single team.
I think Swiper's point. I think to Swiper's point, Pin. This is about.
I don't know who he would come out for in that.
It'll be Ant, DiVincenzo, Jaden McDaniels, Julius Randle, and Rudy. Sure. So DiVincenzo and Ayo.
And they got 6 of them. I think this is also going back to what they wanted last year. Remember, they had 8 starters last year, which is what changed what they're doing. Now they have at least 7. Again, including Nas. And then depending on what you want to say about Terrence Shannon Jr.
Just to put this in perspective, he's shooting 45% from 3. He's an unrestricted free agent. The Minnesota Timberwolves are in cap hell. You don't have his bird rights. This could walk.
They do have his bird rights.
They do?
You trade for a player, you get their bird rights.
So he was with
the Bulls. He still was on his Rook deal too, by the way. He still was on his Rook deal. So they do have his bird.
No, he got an extension. He got an extension. He's on the last year of a 3-year deal.
He was a second round pick, so he got 2 years and then he got an extension, I believe.
Yeah.
That's correct.
That's one thing I know about contracts.
Yeah,
but Pin, this is about
but where the Minnesota Timberwolves are about to be financially, will they be able to go above the mid level to sign him? Like I'm just saying, this could be a rental. Let's just keep that above.
Even if it is a rental, when you give up Robert Dillingham, who I'm gonna put my cards on the table, not the biggest fan, and you give up some second round picks. I've given my opinion on picks, whatever. Leonard Miller, I like Leonard Miller. I don't know. He just hasn't got an opportunity in the league. I like Leonard Miller. I think there's upside there. So I think it's a low risk swing for the Bulls. But when that's what you're giving up for the Wolves, which is basically 2 non-contributors and 4 second rounders, even if it is a rental, if that boosts your chances this year, that's probably worth it. So for the Bulls, for the Wolves, I think it's a fine trade. I have no problem with the trade. I think it makes sense.
And then it's I'm just
not as high on Ayo as like Swiper and Chilwell, but I still agree with their overall sentiment of the trade that it's a good trade. So.
And you play versus OKC now. Like I think a part of the strategy is too, like you can't put a bunch of players in front of Shea or even one where it's like a Reed Shepherd situation where it's like as soon as he gets on the floor, your defense is over. Like it's over. Because now you're overcompensating constantly. The thing the Wolves are doing well is like, okay, it's Ant. Bones is out there, but Bones, guess what? You ain't finna be playing a whole lot, I think, in a lot of these situations. So now if we substitute Ayo and Dante in there with Ant, well, we at least have a 3-guard rotation where we believe all of them can at least hold the ball to a degree. And then that obviously includes Julius Randle. So if you need to play Bones, you can do that in more limited minutes. Like I said, they want Jalen Clark and Terrence Shannon Jr. to turn into those players, but Terrence Shannon cannot dribble and he cannot shoot yet. So like he's not like going to be one of those kind of players. But I think that this gives them a better advantage versus teams like the Rockets, like Denver, like OKC, like the Spurs, where you just don't have players you can take advantage of as often. And my biggest criticism, I think, with organizations kind of missing out, and this is why Arturas, I've heard so many different things about him. I don't know what Arturas is doing. I know they're trying to duck the money. That's why they got off the the Vooch contract and all that stuff. They brought Anthony Simons in. They have a litany of guards. They never truly valued, I think, what Ayo brought to the table. I think that they should have been playing him a lot more early on. They obviously chose to build around Josh Giddey and Kobe White and all that, but I just think Ayo just, from a money standpoint, a fit standpoint, always made more sense. So I've been on Ayo since, 20.
You think they mismanaged him, Swiper?
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, 100%. He's a role player, though. Like, he's not a star.
You can mismanage role players. You can 100% mismanage role players.
Yeah,
yes, you can.
He's clearly a role player, but it's just, one of those situations.
So the role player who played 28 minutes a game through 5 years was not given enough opportunity?
No, I think if you watch the Bulls, you realize what they were doing with him. Yeah, I think he's playing small forward this year.
Yeah, remember, sometimes role players are only as good as the team around them. Like that's what makes a good role player.
I'm a rotation player, Manny. That's why I'm a rotation guy.
Exactly. So if the rest of the team is really bad and you're a role guy, like you might not be the top guy, or you might not shine as much as you would if you were on a good team and just playing your role. Like, so I think I'm going to the Wolves is going to be a great move, and maybe they don't go win the finals or whatever, but still it's not a they can't really lose in this situation. Like they get somebody who's a great basketball player who's willing to do whatever because he's going to be on a contract year. So if you say, hey, we need you to go check him, we need you to go guard him, or we need you to rebound during this third quarter, he's going to go out there and do whatever he needs to do. And that's also the type of player he is. So they might want to bring him back and keep him there.
It's about compensation. What I mean when I say compensation,
they need a guard regardless.
What I mean, Penn, when I say compensation is he does the things that these other guys don't do, even if it's only in increments, even if it's small. He is that ball handler when Anthony Edwards is off the floor. He is
extremely portable.
Yeah,
he has the OG Anunoby. Nowhere near as good, but I'm saying like it's a similar thing. Like the OG Anunoby, Aaron Nesmith, he plugs into every lineup. I get it. He's a great glue guy, right? Like he's a wonderful glue guy. He doesn't have a lot of weaknesses. So yes, I absolutely love it. These guys do tend to get a little bit overrated sometimes, but they do get very fairly paid. Very fairly paid. He's 6'4", multi-guard, can switch 3 positions, not a great defender, but not a terrible defender. Yeah. And can shoot the 3-and-D archetype. Absolutely. I just think when you're trading, and again, what did they trade to get Rob Dillingham? Because initially that 8th pick belonged to the Spurs.
2031 first round pick.
Unprotected?
I believe it was unprotected. And there was probably something else, but I remember it was a 2031 pick.
Yeah, I seem to remember that as well. So you're going to pay the cost of the Rob Dillingham miss, right? And ironically, Montes Buzelis was there. So shout out to Tim Connolly, very good executive, but really they messed up on that. Like the Rob Dillingham thing is, and I mean, you said it, fail fast, right? So they got off Rob Dillingham before the value completely cratered. Maybe he finds a second win in Chicago. We'll see. This seems to be the modus operandi for Chicago. Last year, they took on Josh Giddey, right? They thought to themselves, okay, we'll take a chance. You don't want him, we'll take him. He's a lottery pick. This year they did this now with Jaden Ivey, Rob Dillingham, and Ousmane Dieng. That's 3 lottery picks who haven't quite worked out at their previous stop, and now they're thinking maybe we can get something out of them. This just seems to be how they're doing business right now. I do see a vision for what Chicago's doing. As much as people want to troll all the guards and stuff, they just want players who can dribble past you. And ironically, it's kind of what the Brooklyn Nets are doing too. So I think the Brooklyn Nets and Chicago Bulls both saw what the Indiana Pacers did, and they were just like, maybe we can do that too.
It's the panel. Religion get built on cam. Where the check throw smoke and the host go ham. You ain't never seen hoops out hit the raw. Every take got weight, every night we drop. This that barbershop. Courtside, worldwide tone. Welcome to the only show that really feel like numbers jumping like the score.